What if a single design flaw, hidden deep within a machine trusted by millions, became the silent executioner in the dead of night? What if, in the middle of a storm, the very wings meant to protect you turned against you? This is the haunting story of FedEx Flight 80, a flight that began with routine calm and ended in a fireball of twisted steel and unanswered screams. The night begins. It was March 23, 2009. The air over Japan's Narita International Airport was restless. Heavy crosswinds tore through the sky, cold, invisible knives slicing the darkness apart. As the clock ticked closer to dawn, a cargo jet approached the runway. FedEx Flight 80, a McDonnell Douglas MD-11, had traveled over the vast Pacific, carrying freight and two weary souls. The rain glistened under the landing lights like shards of glass. Wind shear warnings flashed across the radar, but the crew pressed on. They'd faced rough landings before. They trusted the machine. They trusted their training. But the machine had a secret, one the sky would soon reveal in the most brutal way imaginable. DSCNT into chaos. The aircraft lined up with runway 34 liters. Inside the cockpit, the air was thick, not with fear, but with focus. Every instrument, every voice, synchronized like clockwork. Landing checklist complete. The engines roared. The runway lights stretched ahead like a glowing river in the dark. But outside, nature was brewing its rebellion. The crosswinds were stronger than forecast. The plane jolted, a shudder that made even the veteran pilot tighten his grip on the yoke. The first officer called out the speed. The captain steadied the controls. The nose dipped slightly, a correction, a dance with the wind. Then, a sudden drop. The aircraft's left wing lurched down. The MD-11's massive frame slammed against the air currents, fighting to stay upright. The ground rushed up, too fast, too soon. And in that split second, fate took control. Impact, 2:50 a.m. The wheels hit the runway with a deafening boom. The nose bounced, once, twice, like a beast struggling against gravity. The MD-11's notorious design flaw had awakened. Its landing gear, positioned close to the center of gravity, made it dangerously prone to bouncing. A quirk of design that could turn a hard landing into a catastrophe. As the plane bounced high into the air, the engine screamed. The control surfaces twisted under the wind shear. The pilots tried to stabilize, pulling the yoke, but it was too late. The right wing slammed down, dragging the entire aircraft into a vicious roll. The massive jet flipped upside down, a horrifying mechanical somersault. Then, the explosion. A ball of fire erupted across the runway, lighting the pre-dawn sky. Debris scattered like sparks from hell itself. The cargo inside burst into flames, the fuselage ripping apart in an inferno that could be seen for miles. What was once a flying machine was now a blazing tomb. Silency after impact. The control tower went silent. For a few seconds, no one moved. No one spoke. The radar blip was gone. Rescue teams scrambled across the tarmac, engines howling through the smoke and rain. The wreckage burned uncontrollably, pieces of metal glowing red-hot in the downpour. Inside the twisted shell, the flames consumed everything. Every wire, every panel, every memory of the men who had fought till the last second. The smell of burning jet fuel filled the air, mingling with the rain. A haunting scent that would linger for days. The investigation begins. By sunrise, the world had seen the headlines. A cargo plane, destroyed on landing at Narita. 2 lives lost. Dozens of witnesses in shock. But investigators knew this wasn't just weather. When they combed through the wreckage, they found the story written in metal and soot. Flight data revealed the plane had hit the runway too hard, bounced, and flipped. But why had it flipped so violently? The answer was buried in the MD-11's DNA. The currency of the MD-11, an upgrade of the legendary DC-10, was supposed to be the future of cargo aviation. But in its quest for efficiency, engineers had given it a delicate balance, too delicate. Its landing gear sat close to the aircraft's center of gravity. This meant any bounce during landing could quickly pitch the plane up or down violently. The autopilot systems, too, weren't designed to recover from certain bounce patterns, and in high winds, it became a deadly dance. In aviation circles, the MD-11 had a grim reputation. Hard landings, bounced touchdowns, runway flips. FedEx Flight 80 was not the first, and heartbreakingly, not the last. The human side, back at the FedEx headquarters, the news shattered hearts. These weren't just pilots, they were family. Men who had flown countless missions, trusted by their crews, respected by their peers. The night they fell, they were fighting not just weather, but physics itself. One of them had even survived a similar near-crash years earlier. He told colleagues, "The MD-11 is a beast. Treat it like one." And yet, even experience could not tame what fate had written in the clouds that night. Narita, remembers? Days later, the wreckage was cleared, but the scars remained. Burnt asphalt, melted lights, the faint smell of smoke that refused to leave. Airport staff laid flowers near the site. Pilots flying in whispered prayers over the frequency, silent tributes carried on the wind. Every landing that followed felt heavier. Every takeoff, a reminder. And for those who saw the fireball with their own eyes, sleep became a stranger. Lessons from the flames. When the investigation concluded, the report was clear and chilling. The probable cause: a bounce landing aggravated by crosswinds, followed by a roll caused by excessive elevator input and the aircraft's design characteristics. In other words, a human trying to correct an error was betrayed by the very machine he trusted. FedEx and aviation authorities worldwide took immediate action. Pilots received new training for bounce landings in MD-11s. Simulators were upgraded, manuals rewritten, but the ghosts of Flight 80 still whisper through every cockpit. A reminder that in aviation, small flaws can lead to unthinkable ends. The unseen force. People say machines don't have souls, but sometimes they do. In the echoes of their failures, in the lives they touch, in the skies they never reach again. That night, as rain drenched the wreckage, many swore they saw something strange, a faint blue flicker in the flames, dancing like a spirit refusing to leave. Maybe it was just the fire, or maybe it was the sky mourning its own creation, because some tragedies don't just happen, they're felt. By the wind, by the steel, by us. Reflexes. The legacy of FedEx Flight 80 isn't just about design flaws or stormy weather. It's about how thin the line really is between control and chaos, between life and loss. It's about two souls who trusted their craft, fought till their final breath, and became part of aviation's eternal story. Every pilot who lands in a storm now carries their memory. Every safe touchdown is their unspoken victory. The night sky above Narita may have gone quiet, but if you listen closely, beyond the roar of engines, beyond the whisper of rain, you might still hear it. The echo of Flight 80, a warning, a lesson, a haunting truth written in flame. Because sometimes, the real monsters aren't in horror movies. They're in the details we overlook, the flaws we ignore, the skies we trust too much. If this video moved you, subscribe for more haunting aviation tales. Hit the bell icon, and remember, every flight tells a story, but not every story ends in the sky.